If you're going to build something from nothing, you've got to know what really works. I took a $1,000 loan and built a $5 billion business, and now I make smart investments in new businesses on Shark Tank. This is Barbara Corcoran, and you're listening to Business Unusual, presented by On Deck Business Loans. This week on Business Unusual, I'm going to be answering all of the great questions you guys keep sending me in on business, life, how to move forward, how to jump over obstacles. Come on, I'm good at it and I want to share my advice. But first, we've recently celebrated Women's Entrepreneurship Day, and I decided I'm going to talk about the one subject that women are least comfortable addressing, the subject of money. I've been interviewing, hiring, and managing people my whole life, and I can tell you there's a marked difference between the way men and women approach the subject of money. If a man and a woman are interviewing for the same position, 10 times out of 10, the woman will ask for less money. Women deserve equal pay. That's nothing new, but here are a few tips from me on making that happen before you accept the position and get paid too little. Number 1. When you go in for the interview, in addition to putting your best self forward, put your highest value forward too. So if the job offers $40,000 to start, tell the person who's interviewing you you were hoping for $45,000. There's absolutely no downside to that. If it's not in the budget, they'll tell you, and they'll respect you for valuing yourself more. Trust me, there's another guy that was interviewed that day who named $45,000, so act like a guy. Ask for more money. 2. If you're asked, how much do you want to be paid? Always quote a number 10 to 15% higher than you want, knowing that the next guy applying is probably quoting the higher number too. Because men do it all the time. They overvalue their services, and they want to be told, no, I can't do it, but they want to know they tried. So there's absolutely no downside because salaries are a negotiation. So you always negotiate by starting higher. Number 3, if you're offered too low a salary to start, don't entertain the mistaken thought that, I'll just take it and work really hard to prove myself and they'll give me what I want later. Let me tell you, when you go in too low and you work really, really hard and they're going to pay you later, it never happens. They got you cheap. Most people will keep you cheap and they won't give you what you need. So it's so important to make your stand on the front side. Don't buy into the thing you'll prove yourself and be paid more later. It ain't going to happen. That brings us to raises and how to ask for what you want. Here's my advice. Take on every added responsibility you can possibly get your hands on in the company. Don't shrink from anything that's offered to you. Take it on. And even if it's not offered, help your boss, your team members with anything they might need help with. What you're really trying to do is collect as much under your skirt as you possibly can in the responsibility area for one reason only. When you go in for your first raise, you want a list of everything that you've taken on that wasn't included in the first position that you were hired for. And more importantly, you want to be paid for it. You can't go in and ask for a raise and just say, I've done a great job and I'd really like to have a raise. No. What's your added value? You want to pull out your list of 30 other things that you've taken on as responsibility happily to help your boss, to help your coworkers. But now's the time that you say, and I want to be paid for it. That's the way you win a raise. And if you're turned away and say it's too early, not in the budget, and all the other corporate lies that people really tell you that aren't true, because trust me, somebody there is getting a raise this month, you want to ask for a future review in a month or two, again with the same person, and you want to ask, what else do I have to do to merit a substantial raise in this business? I feel like I'm worth it, and I want to know specifically what you expect of me. And then go back in with the new list and ask to be paid for your new responsibility. That's how the guys do it. That's how they get ahead. So girls, come on, forget you're a girl out there. When it comes to money, pretend you're a guy. I've done it my whole life. I don't think I look like a guy. I don't think I'm obnoxious, or I don't think I'm overly aggressive, and nobody's used the B word to describe me that I know of. But let me tell you something. I get paid really well for everything I do because I know I deserve it. I think like a guy. You're listening to Business Unusual with Barbara Corcoran, presented by On Deck Business Loans. Here's a company all business owners should know about: On Deck Business Loans. On Deck delivers financing tailored to small business owners in as little as 24 hours, with term loans up to $500,000 and lines of credit up to $100,000. On Deck products are tailored to your specific business need with a wide choice of loan and payback options. It's a simple process designed to save you time. They have higher approval rates than traditional lenders like the banks. I've known the gang at On Deck for years now, and I can tell you, they're the real deal. On Deck has lent over $10 billion to more than 80,000 small business owners, and thousands of them have reviewed On Deck, giving them a 9.8 out of 10 rating on Trustpilot and an A+ grade with the Better Business Bureau. Make your way over to ondeck.com/Barbara for a free consultation with a small business loan specialist to see exactly what kind of loan best suits your business. Go ahead, visit ondeck.com/Barbara. And now it's time to answer your questions on Business Unusual.
Hi, this is Monica from Los Angeles, and I'm wondering how I can enjoy what I'm doing at work when I feel as though I'm being held back because I'm a woman.
You know, Monica, I'm not sure I buy into that. I don't mean to be harsh, but whether it's true or not that you're being held back as a woman, my best advice to you is forget you're a woman. And let me tell you the power of forgetting what a liability is. You don't focus on it. You just march forward and do the best you can and let people take you for who you are. I can tell you that when I was building my business, I was the only woman in the real estate game in New York City. I would walk into a meeting, a social gathering, to a sea of men in suits. And if anything, I had the excuse to say, oh my gosh, I'm a woman. Oh, they're not listening to me. They're not even introducing themselves and being curt with me when I introduce myself to them. I really felt insulted. So I could have crawled in a hole or felt sorry for myself or gone home early, but I didn't. I just decided to forget I was a woman. And I talked as though I was a man. I raised my hand like I was a guy. And I just barged in, and I was obnoxious, like, as we all know, some men have an easier time being. And so, Monica, forget you're a woman. The best advice in the world. Forget you're a woman and just do the best work you can, and you'll find the waters will indeed part for you. And that's all the questions we have time for today. If you have a question, tweet it at Barbara Corcoran, and I may just answer it on a future episode. You've been listening to Business Unusual with me, Barbara Corcoran, presented by On Deck Business Loans. Come back next week to hear more steps and missteps I took on the path to success on Business Unusual. Business Unusual is part of the iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Be sure to follow Business Unusual on iHeartRadio or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.